celebrating 10 years of delivering the news and content automotive professionals can count on. CBT News, 10 years strong. Subscribe today. Welcome to CBT News with Bridget Fitzpatrick.
Good morning, everyone. Welcome back to CBT News. I'm Bridget Fitzpatrick. Thank you so much for joining us. Here's Chris Riggins with today's top stories.
Thanks, Bridget. South Korea's Hyundai Motor Company and LG Energy Solutions reported to local news outlets yesterday that they were considering building 2 joint venture battery plants in the United States. According to the proposed plan, the Georgia-based plants would be built with an annual capacity of 35 gigawatt hours, which is capable of powering about 1 million electric vehicles. These new factories, built close to Hyundai's newest EV plant, will assist the company in complying with U.S. EV tax credit requirements. Tesla is working on a revamped Model 3 in the hopes of lowering production cost and increasing the appeal of the 5-year-old electric sedan. The Model 3 redesign is based on the Model S, Tesla's premium EV sedan, which was redesigned and released last year. One goal of the redesign, dubbed Highland, is to simplify the interior of the Model 3 while concentrating on things that Tesla customers want. Technology companies that provide the economy with crucial semiconductor chips have begun switching cargo shipments from railroads to trucks as a nationwide freight rail strike approaches. Chips essential to the high-tech sector and auto industry are among the tech cargoes being sent to trucks. According to reports by CNBC, there's a greater capacity for trucks than there was when the threat of a rail strike first surfaced back in September. However, if an agreement is not made by both unions and rail companies, the possible strike could take place on December 9th. The largest EV subscription company in the country, Autonomy, placed an order for more than 2,500 VF8 and VF9 electric SUVs from VINFAST. As part of a broader campaign to buy 400 VINFAST EVs, the deal seeks to acquire 23,000 EVs from 17 manufacturers. Over the next 12 months, VinFast will start delivering cars to Autonomy, giving potential customers access to brand new vehicles in a different way. Don't go anywhere. Coming up next is Mark LaNave, president of Charge Enterprise and former GM, Ford, and Volvo executive. We'll be right back.
Delivering the news dealers count on for 10 years. Subscribe today and join thousands of other automotive professionals. CBT News, 10 years strong.
President Biden's administration made a significant investment into the nation's infrastructure, which included funding for EV charging. Today on Inside Automotive, we're continuing the EV conversation with Mark LaNave, president of Charge Enterprises and former GM, Ford, and Volvo executive, who has spent decades leading the retail automotive industry. Take a look.
Let's talk a little bit about where this infrastructure situation stands right now. I mean, we heard so much about it, and obviously everybody's anxious to get these charging stations up and running. Consumers want it, OEMs want it, as you know, dealers really want it so that they can sell these vehicles once they hit the showroom. So give us your overview on that.
Well, if we start with, you had mentioned the government support that was in the infrastructure bill, and the way that plays out is states apply for a share of those funds. They submit a plan to the federal government on a state-by-state basis and are allocated. I'm not smart enough to know the black box that it goes into and how the money gets allocated by state,
Sure.
But it's mainly supposed to be targeted toward underserved areas. Now, those could be from an air quality standpoint or many other criteria that enters into that, or on the interstate highway system. If you think about one of the big aspects of range anxiety, if a customer just uses their EV for their commute to work and it's 10 miles and they're not experiencing range anxiety, they probably charge at home at night either with
Sure.
a level 1 or level 2, and then they're fine. But if you think about going for a trip, I frequently go to Pittsburgh. It's about 220 miles. I have family there. You're going to have to stop and charge maybe twice, depending on the weather, depending on the vehicle and what have you. So understanding where charging is available, if you knew that it was in the same relative spaces, places, gas stations or the roadside oasis or rest areas on the highway system. That would alleviate a lot of range anxiety. But that's going to be a while because the states are just getting allocated the money. They put all these things out for competitive bid. They got to decide exactly what they're doing, what equipment, what software, what locations. There's permitting. Is there adequate power coming in so that you can do the fast charging? So that's going to be a while. In the meantime, at Charge, we're working primarily with auto dealers. A lot of businesses are thinking about charging: hotels, office complexes, apartment units, or multifamily housing units, big box retail. Auto dealers have to do it. They're being mandated by the OEMs before they receive the first vehicles. They have adequate charging, including fast charging. So we are working right now literally with hundreds of dealers across the United States to put in their charging infrastructure, meet the OEM requirements.
All right, be sure to watch this interview in its entirety right here at cbtnews.com. That wraps up our show for today, but we invite you to join us back here again tomorrow morning for all the news and trends impacting the retail automotive industry. And be sure to follow us on TikTok, LinkedIn, Facebook, and Twitter. I'm Bridget Fitzpatrick. Thanks for watching and have a great day.
Thanks for watching CBT News with Bridget Fitzpatrick. Join the #1 most watched newscast in the automotive industry. CBT News, 10 years strong. Subscribe today.